You replace the moon with a single teaspoon of neutron star material. It looks like a tiny, shimmering pebble. It weighs about 5 billion tons. At first, the night sky looks empty. Then the physics of the universe decide to stop being polite right now. A teaspoon of neutron star matter is heavy, but not moon heavy. The Earth doesn't fly away. Instead, the moon is simply gone, tides vanish, the oceans stop moving. This seems peaceful for about 3 seconds, but that tiny speck is still an object of extreme density. Gravity is a hungry thing. The pebble doesn't stay in orbit, it begins to fall. The Earth's gravity pulls the dense speck inward. As the speck descends, the atmosphere becomes a problem. Usually a meteor burns up. But this object is a degenerate state of matter. Air molecules don't push it away. They collide with a surface as hard as a diamond planet. The collision energy is staggering. A pillar of incandescent plasma forms instantly. The air around the pebble is compressed so violently that it undergoes nuclear fusion. The sky doesn't just glow, it screams. A blinding white line carves through the clouds. Every satellite in low Earth orbit is vaporized by the resulting gamma radiation. The speck isn't a rock anymore. It is a kinetic needle sewing through the rocky crust of the planet. The impact is not a crash, it is a perforation. The speck enters the ground at 20 kilometers per second. It does not stop. It does not explode. It simply ignores the very concept of solid matter and continues its journey toward the core. The pebble is now traveling through the mantle. This is where things get inconvenient, because the object is so dense it creates a localized gravity well. It pulls the surrounding magma along for the ride. A wake of liquid iron and silicate follows the speck. The Earth's interior is stirred like a giant molten cocktail. This creates massive tectonic shifts. Every fault line on the planet triggers at once today. San Francisco slides into the bay. Tokyo sinks. The Himalayas flatten themselves in a matter of minutes. Huge plumes of lava erupt from the ground in places where volcanoes never existed. The crust is no longer a protective shield. It is a cracked eggshell. The sheer kinetic energy converts into heat. The surface of the Earth begins to glow a dull red. This is a very bad day for every single real estate agent. The speck reaches the core. It doesn't bounce. The Earth's center is dense, but neutron star material is a different league. The pebble punches through the inner core and exits the other side of the planet. This creates a planetary-scale acupuncture needle. The exit wound is a 1,000-mile wide geyser of molten iron. The Earth's rotation begins to wobble violently. The angular momentum is thrown completely off balance. The magnetic field flickers and then dies. Without a protective magnetosphere, the solar wind strips away the remaining atmosphere. The oceans boil away quickly into the vacuum of space. The planet is now a scorched, airless husk of black charcoal and lava. The tiny speck doesn't care one bit. It is now orbiting the center of the Earth's mass, oscillating back and forth like a pendulum of doom. Each pass through the core adds more thermal heat. The Earth is being cooked from the inside out by a piece of cosmic debris the size of a small grape. Gravity eventually wins. The speck doesn't keep oscillating. It settles into the center of the Earth, but the mass is still concentrated in one tiny point. This creates a permanent singularity of pressure. The Earth's core is crushed into a sphere of ultra-compressed metal. The planet begins to shrink. The outer layers collapse inward toward the new hyperdense center. This is a planetary implosion. The collapse happens so fast that the falling rock reaches supersonic speeds. The resulting pressure creates a flash of light that would be visible from the next galaxy. The Earth is no longer a planet. It is a dense, hot marble of degenerate matter. The moon's replacement has effectively turned the whole world into a very small, very angry ball of iron. Everything you ever loved is now compressed into a space roughly the size of a city block. The atmosphere is a thin layer of glowing plasma. The laws of basic chemistry stop working entirely. Atoms are crushed flat. Electrons are forced violently into protons. The Earth has effectively become a miniature terrestrial neutron star. This is an extremely efficient way to save on storage space for the entire human race today. The final result is a silent, white-hot sphere. The Earth's original volume is gone. The new Earth is only a few kilometers wide. It is incredibly heavy and incredibly small. In the cosmic scale, this is barely a blip. The solar system continues to turn. The sun doesn't notice the change. However, there is one remaining problem. The original lunar lease agreement explicitly stated that the moon must maintain a minimum diameter of 1,000 miles. The cosmic landlord is going to be very upset now. The Earth is now a tiny, dense pebble floating in a void. It is technically a very efficient piece of art. However, the lack of oxygen makes it difficult to enjoy. The experiment is a complete failure. Everything is gone. This is a standard Tuesday in physics. Do you want to see other ways to accidentally delete the solar system? Subscribe to the What If Club. We have more terrible ideas waiting for you in the next video.